Can I interest you in a cup of coffee?
No, thank you, Mr. Richardson. I just assume we get right to business.
Suit yourself.
Have you made a decision regarding my client, Mrs. Grant?
Oh, I have indeed.
Would you like to fill me in?
I'm going to charge Mrs. Grant with manslaughter.
That's ridiculous.
I don't agree.
Mrs. Grant's involvement with Diana Taylor's death was purely accidental.
Nevertheless, but Mrs. Grant did cause death. Whether or not it was accidental will be up to a jury to decide.
Do you actually believe that she's guilty?
Now, what's the difference? The fact is she did withhold evidence, and that in itself is a crime. I mean, that kind of action could lead a jury to believe that she had something to hide.
She did have something to hide.
Well, would you care to fill me in, Mr. Baldwin?
Mr. Richardson, Mrs. Grant wasn't so much concealing evidence as she was concealing the shame of her daughter. All of her life, you see, she's been burdened with a very destructive and very undisciplined child.
Heather Weber.
Exactly. You see, she's dedicated her whole life to protecting Heather from hurting herself and from hurting other people. So it's perfectly clear to see that in that protection, that's what led her to struggle with Diana Taylor.
That's a valid point, but not altogether convincing.
Listen, would you just talk to her one more time before you go ahead and press charges?
For what purpose?
So that you'll be convinced that even though the gun went off in Mrs. Grant's hand, it was an accident, that Heather is just as much fault here as anyone else?
Well, Heather, you want to Dr. Pep?
Yes, but I wanted to say goodbye to you before I left.
Well, thank you. You know, I really meant what I said earlier. If you're making an honest effort, I'll stand behind you all the way.
Well, I only wish more people felt the way you do.
Hi, Jesse.
Jeremy, you playing hooky?
How, you'd even suggest that to me?
They no longer conduct school during the middle of the day?
Not during teachers' conferences.
You got off early.
See, I got you going
They
there.
had us both going.
Is my mother around?
She's in the medication room, but she'll be right back.
Okay, great.
Excuse me.
So, Jeremy, you got a half day off school, huh?
Obviously.
Well, you must enjoy that, I know. I would if I was your age.
No, it's not that great.
Well, I always hated school. My favorite subject was lunch. What's yours?
Mine's chemistry.
Oh, really? All those complicated symbols. Bet you have them all memorized.
Of course.
Well, what's your favorite?
Favorite what?
Your favorite element?
Heather, will you give me a break?
What are you talking about?
Look, I may be young, but I'm not stupid.
Well, apparently not if you know all about chemistry.
Well, I know one thing about chemistry. You and me have none between us, and we never will.
I was just trying to be friendly, Jeremy.
Yeah, and I'm wondering why. I know how you feel about my mother.
Will you get off my case? I'm just trying to be friendly. I don't have anything against your mother. I have warm feelings towards Ann Logan.
Oh, come on, get off it, Heather. Feed that line to somebody else. I know you're lying about my mother, just like you lie about everything else. I think they should lock you up and throw away the key.
You little rat!
How dare you lay a finger on my son? You stay away from him. You get away from him.
It wasn't what you think.
I don't care what your stupid excuses are. You just leave us alone. Do you hear me?
Laura?
Leave me alone.
Come on, baby.
Don't come on, baby me. You told me to read, I'm reading.
I told you a lot of things, and what I'd like to tell you right now is that I'm sorry. Look. I flipped out. I just flipped out. It could happen to anybody.
Yeah, but why do you always take it out on me?
I just didn't believe that you were telling me the truth, and I'm sorry. I went to the Gazette, and what's her name, Barron, set me straight.
I could have saved you the trouble.
Yeah, but you couldn't have given me the entertainment.
What? What do you mean?
This woman has the audacity, the stupidity, the idiocy to compare herself to Woodward and Bernstein. She tells me Wood Nixon go to Woodward and Bernstein and demand to know who Deep Throat was.
You're kidding. Did she say that?
She sure did.
I don't believe it. Well, did she tell you?
Who Deep Throat was?
No, stupid.
No, ma'am. She did not tell me that. She told me that you had nothing to do with this piece of stuff in the paper today.
Of course I didn't.
I got a smile out of you. I think I could have a kiss. Got a smile and a kiss. I think I'm on a roll.
Oh, yeah? We'll keep going. Who knows what can develop.
I love you. You know that?
Oh, and I love you. So much more than any silly screen test.
Well, you better.
I do. Don't you understand what this is for me? It's just a lark. It's just something different to do.
I just thought I was enough difference for you to do.
You are. You're real different. And I love you. I love you for it. But nothing's ever going to come between us. You're still the most important thing in my life.
You're sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. All right, who are you? I want to know who you are.
It's her!
You know this guy?
No.
All right, you better spill out your guts. What's the story? Because you're on private property, and unless you want trouble, I want to hear it fast.
Cops?
Anything it takes, pal.
Well, all I wanted to do was get an eyeful of Laura.
What are you talking about?
Luke, honestly, I don't know what he's talking about either.
Well, Miss Star Eyes, right? I read about you in the newspaper.
Oh,
Well, Lou, you know, I read about Reagan in the newspaper, but I don't prowl around the White House.
Oh, the president? Guess I'm compared to Miss Star Eyes yet.
Yeah, well, if I have anything to say about it, she's not going to be president.
Luke, it's just a test.
Well, I don't care. I mean, you're beautiful anyways.
Well, that's really sweet of you. Thank you.
Well, we came down here to get your autograph.
Excuse me, that was we or me?
Me and my buddies.
You got a whole group of groupies out here? Is that what it is?
She is. Look at her. Whoa. What are you doing?
Send it to Ronnie, please. Ronnie?
No, Ted, did you say how much I can?
I've never done this.
Can you give me a piece of
Ted?
Is that it?
Everybody happy?
Yeah, everybody happy? Thank you. Get out. Thanks a lot. Get out.
Did you have to be so grouchy with them?
What do you want me to do? Invite them back in and make them lunch?
Luke, they're only kids. They didn't mean any harm.
They harmed an ego or two in here.
Luke. I can take care of that.
We get about 3 guesses, how?
Number 1. Kiss.
Number 2?
Another kiss.
What's number 3? Stay right where you are.
May I please speak to Miss Star Eyes?
What is this? What do you thought? Listen, we've had about enough of this, okay?
There she is. This is our...
I'm asking you politely to leave my boat.
Just give me a chance to have a picture of my wife with Miss Star Eyes.
Look, I'm going to ask you 3 times. That's 1. This is number 2. Get off my boat.
But we want to show the folks back home.
3.
Luke, no, you know, I could have been Miss Star Eyes, too, if I had your brakes.
Too bad you don't have the brakes today.
Come on.
This is not the Wax Museum!
Thank you, sweetie. Wait, there's some more over there. Okay, you get it. Oh.
To Bradshaw, hi.
Miss Logan.
Yes, you're probably wondering what a nice, don't say it, what a nice girl like
I won't
me
say
is.
it.
Well, then, could you move, please? Because I have some pills here.
No, not until I get an explanation. Who's this child and why is he playing with pills?
This is my son, Jeremy. He's not playing. He's helping me pick up pills off the floor.
Ah. Well, need I remind you that pills don't belong on the floor?
No, I do know that.
Well, then why are they there in the first place?
I dropped the medication tray, Dr. Bradshaw.
Well, perhaps if you realize this is a hospital and not a nursery, you'd be able to concentrate better on your job?
Dr. Bradshaw, accidents happen to everyone.
Not to professionals, they don't. I can only assume that since Miss Logan is Dr. Hardy's niece, the hospital staff overlooks her inadequacies.
I can't stand this anymore. Why do all the jerks in the world have a disliking towards me?
Here's another pill.
I don't know. I try my best. I try to do everything, but I can't take this abuse. I mean, not especially when they're picking on you,
It's
Jeremy.
okay, Mom.
No, it's not all right.
Okay. It's not okay. It's okay.
And this is a hospital. I just heard your emotional outburst. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, not you too, Steve.
What happened?
I can explain everything.
Well, somebody better.
Well, see, Mom came out of the medical room, and then Heather came over, and we got into a fight.
Not here, Jeremy. Let's do it in my office. Rick, will you do me a favor and talk to Ann?
Of course, I'd be glad to.
I just haven't had much luck with her lately. She's certainly not the same girl she used to be. Come on, Jim.
All right, Ann. What's happening?
I have nothing to say.
Well, I think there's a great deal on your mind. You're extremely upset.
I am upset. I am very upset. I don't know what's the point of talking about it. Every time I open my mouth, I just get in more trouble.
I don't want to cause you any trouble. I'd like to help you get yourself out of it. That's all.
Oh, Rick, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm being unfair.
Well, as long as I'm the only one you're being unfair with, that's fine.
Maybe I was unfair to Dr. Bradshaw, too. I don't know.
What happened, Bradshaw?
He accused me of being incompetent. Said I'd get away with it because I'm Steve's niece. I did drop the medication tray. Yes, that was very careless of me.
And I'm sure he said something about that.
Oh, boy, did he. Yeah, he said that professionals shouldn't have accidents. That's what he said. Maybe he was right.
Well, that's not necessarily true, but why don't you just try to forget about Dr. Bradshaw? He's an extremely rigid and disciplined person.
I learned that the hard way.
Doesn't mean that some of those traits aren't common in a physician of his caliber. He's a perfectionist. One of the reasons why he's so good.
Yeah. Well, I didn't help matters any. I was on the edge because I just saw Heather.
I think what you have to do is try and not have those negative reactions when Heather's around.
Rick, I don't know how I can do that.
And you may have to try very hard. There's a possibility she will be around for a long time to come.
What do you mean?
She saw me this morning. She asked me to help her get a job here at the hospital.
And you told her no, didn't you?
And I told her I'd think about it.
Rick, she is a monster.
At one point, you are going to have to put your personal feelings aside.
Well, I can't.
You're going to have to try, and it won't be easy. And Heather has been cleared of any connection with Diana Taylor's murder. Now, it's not fair for anyone to try to prevent her from putting the rest of her life together again and in a good way.
Well, that is one thing Heather Weber's never been able to do is get stopped, especially by her mother.
I'm not exactly sure what it is you want me to do.
You just tell Mr. Richardson exactly what you told me.
About the gun?
And also about Heather.
Mr. Richardson, my daughter is a very bright young woman, but she's always had this terribly destructive streak. And, well, I have always done everything I could to try to keep her out of trouble, but I haven't always been successful.
Mrs. Grant, I am particularly interested in the night of Diana Taylor's murder.
Of course. When I saw that Heather had a gun in her hand, my first impulse was to knock it out, just get it away, and that's what I did. But then Mrs. Taylor came back with a gun of her own, and she was going to kill my daughter.
What did you do then?
Well, I struggled with Mrs. Taylor, and I tried to get the gun away from her. But she wouldn't let go. I mean, she just wouldn't let go. And then the gun went off somehow.
You've got to calm down, Mrs. Grant.
On the outside, yes, sir. But on the inside, I'm going to have to live with the knowledge that my hand was on that gun. Diana Taylor was my friend, and she's dead. So now I'm going to have to suffer over that just every day of my life.
Wasn't there some other way you might have dealt with that situation?
Mr. Richardson, I wake up at night worrying about that, but there wasn't anything else I could do, because if I hadn't struggled with Diana, Heather would be dead.
Your daughter?
Yes, sir. And no matter how she's messed up her life, she is my daughter. And as her mother, I am very thankful that she is still alive.
Thank you, Mrs. Grant. Mr. Baldwin, I'd like to take a minute now and just go over my file on this case.
What are you doing?
Get away from my wife! Hey, buddy, get your hands off my camera. It's the only thing I'm gonna keep my hands off. Now get out of here and don't come back!
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I don't understand why you have to be so violent with those people.
You don't understand?
Look, I realize that they caught me off guard and everything. But you see, they're just fans of mine. They're just trying to be friendly.
They're trying to be friendly with my wife in my bedroom.
Luke!
I don't think it's funny.
I do!
Oh, thank you.
Calm down.
Now, that sounds like a good idea.
I guess we can't expect things not to change with something like this happening.
Some things never change.
You mean like you and me?
And me and you.
Uh-huh. Well, you know, the beginning of this publicity bit feels like the end of privacy.
Luke, don't worry about it. Really, those people didn't mean any harm.
I guess you're right.
I am right. Trust me. Thousands have.
You know, it could get worse if you go through with this Miss Star Eyes screen test thing.
It won't.
You can't be sure.
I am sure. Really, I'm convinced that what happened today was just an isolated incident.
So you think there's people coming around hounding you for the autographs and the pictures and stuff. It's just a one-shot deal and that's the end of it.
Well, what difference does it make if it wasn't? Luke, I mean, it has no effect on our relationship, or it shouldn't anyway. Right?
Well, you're right.
Good. So where were we?
As I recall, we were just about here when there was a knock on the door.
Oh, please, let's not bring that up again.
Okay.
Good. Because whatever happens, nothing is going to come between us. Okay?
After that, Spencer actually hit me. Now, do you believe that?
I believe it. Here's some money for your trouble.
Gee, thanks a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You want these back?
No, you keep them. Job well done.
Hey, thanks, mister. What'd you say your name was?
I didn't.